Welcome to the Life Makeovers podcast. My name is Cindy D. Whitmer, and I am the Midlife Makeover Coach, helping you turn your midlife into your best life, one step at a time. Through powerful conversations, my own midlife roller coaster story, and over 3 decades of helping people transform their lives through counseling and coaching, I am on a mission to help you create your own definition of success and happiness. Thank you for being here. Hey everybody, welcome to the Life Makeovers podcast. I am Cindy D. Whitmer, the Midlife Makeover Coach, and I help you turn your midlife crisis into the best years of your life and really set you up for a great next chapter so you can live a long and happy, meaningful life well into your golden years, as some call it. And today I want to talk about that, more about how to experience not only a longer life, but a higher quality life, no matter what age you are. And I'm taking some of the teachings that I'm going to share today from this book, for those of you watching on YouTube, Ikigai, the Japanese secret to a long and happy life. Now, I may have just botched up the title of that book completely, but you get the idea. So, did you know that Albert Einstein actually said a happy man, of course, he said man, but a happy person is too satisfied with the present to dwell on the future. And I love that because one of the things that I think happens a lot with people in midlife is that they start to really worry about what the rest of their lives are going to be like. You know, many of you say it's too old for you to change anything. It's too late for you to be happy or to turn your life around in different areas. And those are just myths. And I want you to be a little more proactive and intentional in your lives so you can feel good in your life, both emotionally and physically. And so, with that in mind today, I want to share some of the rules of Ikigai, or however this is pronounced, that the authors of this book found as they were researching the lives of centenarians in Okinawa, Japan. So they spent a ton of time studying people who live to be 100 or more and are thriving emotionally and physically, socially, in every way, and who are great examples to teach us how to create meaningful, happy, healthy lives way beyond midlife, way beyond when we think it's too late for us, and so forth. So they summed it up with these 10 rules, and I'm going to share those first and see what you think of those. So number one, excuse me, stay active, do not retire. Those who give up the things they love doing and do well lose their purpose in life. That's why it's so important to keep doing things of value, making progress, bringing beauty or utility to others, helping out, and shaping the world around you, even after your official, quote unquote, official professional activity has ended. And one of the things I found very striking when I was studying this book is that they said there is no Japanese word that is equivalent to our American word retirement, because they simply don't believe in the concept. Now, again, hear me correctly, I am not asking you to work your fingers to the bone till you're 110 and that's the meaning of a quality life. But I think you're hearing in their language is to stay involved, find things that are meaningful to you, and that you can bring value to and contribute to yourself, because that is one of the ingredients to a recipe of a great life. Number two, sorry, take it slow. Being in a hurry is inversely proportional to quality of life. Like there's an old saying that says, walk slowly and you will go far. I often say slow and steady wins the race. So if you leave a sense of urgency behind you, then your life can take on, and your time, your relationship with time can can take on a new meaning for you. Number 3, this really fascinated me. Don't fill your stomach. So the belief there is that people eat until they are 80% full. Okay. So less is more. So they have the 80% rule. So once they feel satisfied, they stop eating, even if they don't feel like full. And I know in America, we often eat ourselves to feel full or almost way too full, overly full. I'm guilty of that sometimes. And so I'm working on that myself right now. So number 4, surround yourself with good friends. Friends are the best medicine. You can confide your worries to them. You can share your daily life with them. You can have good laughs, dream together, have fun, get advice, just enjoy life together. Many of you have told me it's very difficult to make friends in midlife. And I think the best way to make friends in midlife is to find an activity you enjoy or a club or organization you want to belong to because of your value system, whether you're volunteering or you're participating, whatever, and consistently show up doing these activities or participating. And then people with something in common with you will also be there. And then you can, extend an invitation to go get coffee or go get lunch or go for a walk or whatever, and then start to see if a greater friendship can form. And how many of you actually know your neighbors by name or more about their lives? You may have a friend right on the street that you just haven't met yet. So there's as many of you have told me, you're lonesome for friendship in midlife. That means there's others out there looking for friendships as well. And according to this Japanese philosophy of living, it's one of the best ways to have a long, meaningful life. Number 5, excuse me, get in shape for your next birthday. Water moves. It is at its best when it flows fresh and doesn't stagnate. The body you move through life in needs a bit of daily maintenance to keep it running for a long time. Plus, exercise releases hormones that make us feel happy. Now, one of the differences about what they shared about exercise compared to what I think our culture talks about is these people are typically not going to gyms and getting on treadmills or going to a cardio class or lifting weights or, whatever, these organized places and classes and things like this. Rather, they are just moving more. They walk or bicycle to places they need to go, A to B, instead of in cars all the time like we often are. And many of them have their own gardens in their yards that they are tending to every day. So they're just naturally moving their body, bending over, using their, flexibility and using their muscles and so forth, just by natural movement and going on walks together. And then many of them also do dancing, and not necessarily formal dancing, but like it's common to have a meal together with their family and friends and then just dance in your living room, dance in your backyard. So in other words, they're just incorporating movement in their life naturally. They're not like, okay, I've got to go run 5 miles today to get my exercise in. They're just living the movement. And so I'm asking myself, how can I just naturally move more? Because I tend to be pretty stationary, especially with my work here. Number 6, smile. A cheerful attitude is not only relaxing, it helps you make friends and be more approachable to others. And it's a reminder, approaching life with a smile is a reminder that it's a privilege for us to be here and to have life and to live in this world. And it just makes you more approachable to others, appearing kinder and calmer and so forth. So you will receive that kind of energy from others more so when you are smiling yourself. So put a smile on your face and turn the frown upside down and get out there and meet people and greet people Number 7, reconnect with nature. Most of us live in cities or more compact areas, but the Japanese philosophy is that we human beings are meant to be in the natural world because we are a part of nature. We are nature ourselves. And so we want to return to it as often as possible. So even if you live in a high rise somewhere in a city, make sure you're finding the local parks or go sitting by a tree or walking in grass whenever possible, wherever possible, or getting out on the water that nearby where you live, or whatever is possible for you. But remember that nature gives. It's very life-giving to humans, and we are life-giving to nature. And so it's a wonderful exchange. And I can tell you, as much as I appreciate technology and makes it possible for me to do things like podcasts and Zoom group coaching experiences and meeting people literally all over the world. And I am so grateful for that. I do feel better when I can shut my computer down and get outside and go for a walk around our property on the trails we have and sit by the trees or go to the pond and listen to the frogs croaking or feed the birds in our feeders out back or just anything like that. And we love to sit outside and eat on the deck when the weather allows, and just to be outdoors and the fresh air and the sounds of nature. It is life-giving. I certainly agree with that. So any way that you can reconnect with nature. Those of you who can have plants in your house, if you don't have land outside, great. You don't yet, get a bouquet of flowers, get plants in your house that you water, you talk to, you enjoy, whatever. But yes, connect with nature as much as possible. Number 8, give thanks. And they're suggesting we give thanks to our ancestors, to nature, to the food we have to eat, to our friends, to our family, anything that brightens our day and makes us feel lucky to be alive, and to make gratitude a daily practice. I could not agree more with this either. I do a little gratitude journal every morning. It takes about 5 minutes. It's part of how I start every single day. I simply list all the things that uniquely I feel grateful for in the last 24 hours or that I'm anticipating for the day or something like that. It's just a little boost. It really reminds me of everything I have to be thankful for and all the blessings in life. And it keeps your mind focused on those kinds of things as you go throughout your day, because tomorrow I'm going to write stuff in my gratitude journal. I need to be aware of what I'm thankful for at all times. And they have found this to be, an ingredient to a happy, long, healthy life. Number 9, I love this one. Live in the moment. Stop regretting the past and fearing the future. Today is all you have. Make the most of it. Make it worth remembering. I love that. We can't think about that enough in life, that we just need to let go of what's gone and past and done with and so forth, and just keep enjoying right now and not also worry about what's next or what if this happens or what if this doesn't happen or how's that all going to work out. We can just stay right here and enjoy the moment. I recently had someone in my life die, and he died unexpectedly, and I was shook by that. And when I attended his celebration of life, I was so grateful to be there and shared some wonderful memories with his widow and his kids and other friends who knew him. And it was such a wonderful thing. But I found myself feeling a little regret that I hadn't seen him in a while or talked to him in a few months. And I thought, oh gosh, I should have been in touch more often. I started shooting on myself and regretting that I hadn't communicated with him as much in the last, few months or whatever. Of course, not having a clue what might happen, but that's not the reason to contact someone, but you know what I'm saying. I started to go down the path of regret. And then I thought, you know what, Cindy, you can't do that to yourself. That doesn't serve anyone. It doesn't serve me. It only hurts me. And it doesn't change the facts of the past. I can't change those facts. And he knew I loved him, and I knew he loved me. And that's all we need to know, right? We were close, we loved each other, and I miss him. And I personally feel comforted by the idea that I think he knows that, and that, I felt his presence. I feel his presence in my life, even though he has physically deceased. So, staying in the moment, very important. I really had to put myself in check about that just recently. So, and then number 10, follow your ikigai. Again, I may be butchering that word, that Japanese term. I apologize to any of you who know better than me about that. But this is what they say. I'm going to read this one word for word. There is a passion inside you, a unique talent that gives meaning to your days and drives you to share the best of yourself until the very end. If you don't know yet what your Ikigai is, as Viktor Frankl says, who was a survivor of the concentration camps way back when, your mission is to discover it. And so, thus, these 10 rules of living a long, meaningful life learned from the people of Okinawa, who live in one of the areas where there's the highest number of people living happily and healthfully over 100 years old. Another thing they said that I loved is that your grand essentials to happiness in this life is 3 things. 1, something to do. 2, something to love. And 3, something to hope for. So you might challenge yourself today to just think about, what is something you really want to do that is super important to you? What is something you love so much, or maybe it's someone or some ones that you love so much, and something that you really hope for, that you're not to, dwell on the future, so to speak, but something that's in your consciousness that you really want to create in your life one day. So there's some thoughts today to share for you to contemplate what sounded good to you, what sounded doable to you, what you might be willing to give a try if you're fearing aging, if you're fearing the future, if you're dreading it, if you're thinking, oh, I'm going down the slippery slope fast in my 40s, 50s, or 60s or beyond. Listen, we may have a lot more years left to live than we would ever have imagined. If you're 50 years old right now, you might just be halfway there. If you're going to be like these people that were studied with all the, and all this information that was found in this book, your life's only half over. And if that could possibly be true for you, you don't want to just, lay down and start to give up now by any stretch of the imagination. You are young yet, and you can get younger and younger feeling emotionally and physically as your life goes on. Just, adopt some of these habits or ideas that you think would be worth your time and effort, and see how you feel. See what comes up. I mean, all of us could start smiling more every day, right? That's super easy to incorporate into any schedule, any lifestyle, anywhere. And I think most of these are really, what I love about them is that they do seem very practical and possible for any and all of us to incorporate as we move forward. So, of course, as always, I wish you health. I wish you happiness. I wish you, I want for you to understand that midlife is not the end. It's actually a brand new beginning of your next chapter. And I am here to help you evolve as you continue to age, and help you to find your sweet spot of a happy, joy-filled, meaningful life that you create on your terms. And that's what I do in my coaching program. So if you want to talk to me about your life and where you're at and what's happening and what might be keeping you stuck, and see if I can give you some tips or tricks or support to really get you moving the needle in your life, then please go to timewithcindy.com, set up a time with me, and I will look forward to speaking with you more. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Life Makeovers podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share this podcast with those that you think would also benefit from what we're doing here. And I will talk to you again soon.